The story begins by showing a city called Avalonia. As Avalonia's greatest explorer, Jaeger Clade is known for his brute strength and indomitable spirit. Accompanied by his son, Searcher Clade, the duo sets out on a journey to find a way through the impassable mountains that have trapped the city in solitude for decades. Though many have tried and failed before them, the people of Avalonia are filled with hope as the father-son team sets out on their quest. They find shelter from the harsh weather as they make their way through the treacherous mountain cave system. But they could not relax there as one of the team members accidentally caused an icicle to fall, narrowly missing him. As they continue deeper into the cave, Searcher's curiosity gets the best of him, and he approaches a mysterious plant that gives off a glowing green light. When he touches it, he is jolted by a surge of energy and screams in pain. Jaeger jumps into action, bravely rescuing his son just in time. Upon further investigation, Searcher realizes that this plant, dubbed Pando, could be a game-changer for Avalonia. Its unique properties have the potential to revolutionize the city and its future beyond the mountains. Despite the pleas of his fellow explorers, Jaeger Clade is determined to find a way past the impassable mountains of Avalonia. He sets out on his own, never to be seen again. Years later, Searcher Clade has made a name for himself as the discoverer of Pando, a plant with unique properties that have become the primary fuel source for the city. He lives in the countryside with his wife, Meridian, and their son, Ethan. One day, while conducting a quick fertilization sweep of their farm, Meridian tells Searcher that the engine on her plane has broken down. Upon inspection, they discover that the battery is dead, even though she had just used a new pod an hour before. As they continue to discuss the issue, Ethan's friends show up, excited to show off their limited edition copies of the Primal Outpost game. Ethan is disappointed that he has received the farmer card, while his friend Diaz got the explorer card. Diaz offers to trade with Ethan, who eagerly accepts. As they talk about Ethan's desire to become an explorer like his grandfather, Jaeger, Searcher arrives and joins the conversation. Embarrassed, Ethan quickly says goodbye to his friends and ends the conversation. Searcher and Ethan drive into town to deliver Pando to the citizens. As they drive, Searcher tells Ethan about his father, Jaeger Clade, who was a renowned adventurer but a poor father. He explains that Jaeger was more interested in fame and conquests than in his family. That night, while they are having dinner, Callisto, the president of Avalonia, drops in unannounced with disturbing news. The Pando plants, the primary fuel source for the city, are dying, and the farms in the Northeast Territory are already failing. Callisto fears that all of the Pando farms, including theirs, will be gone within a month. Callisto shares with Searcher the history of the discovery of Pando and asks him to join her on an expedition to save the plant. Without Pando, they will have to return to older, less efficient forms of fuel. Ethan assumes he will join the expedition, but Searcher is determined not to risk his life as his father did. Callisto briefs the team on the expedition, explaining that the Pando plants on the surface are all connected to a single, massive underground root system. They believe that whatever is causing the plants to become sick is attacking the root system at its heart. It will be a dangerous journey, but one that may hold the key to saving Avalonia's primary source of fuel. After tracking the Pando roots to the Atlas Range, the team finds themselves in a sinkhole. Meridian arrives in her crop duster, revealing that Ethan and their dog, Legend, have stowed away on the journey. Suddenly, they are attacked by red-looking creatures, and the pilot is taken out. With no one in control, the airship plummets deeper into the sinkhole. Meridian manages to jump on board and take control of the ship, narrowly avoiding a crash by breaking through the crust into an underground world. Searcher and Legend are thrown off the ship, but Meridian manages to save the vessel. Moments later, Searcher and Legend are attacked by a creature called the Reaper, but they are saved by a gruff-looking creature who turns out to be Jaeger. He has been living underground for years, trying to find a way past the mountains. Searcher tells him about the airship, which Jaeger sees as the key to getting past the mountains. Meanwhile, Ethan sneaks away in search of his father when the others work to fix the ship. He finds a mysterious cave and encounters a blue jelly-like creature that he names Splat. When he notices that Splat has his father's handkerchief, he follows the creature, hoping it will lead him to Searcher. As it turns out, Splat is a scout for the Reapers, leading people to their death. When Ethan tries to grab some Pando seeds that have been thrown off the ship, Splat is electrocuted when it touches a seed. Ethan manages to pull the creature away, but Reapers surround them. Jaeger saves Ethan with a flamethrower, but their escape is cut off by more Reapers coming from the other side. Ethan falls from a great height but is saved by Splat, who has decided to switch sides after he treating its wounds. When they think they have no way out, Meridian and Callisto rescue them in a flying vehicle. Back on the airship, Searcher and Jaeger argue about their next move. Searcher wants to continue searching for the heart of Pando, while Jaeger wants to use the airship to cross the burning sea and finally get past the insurmountable mountain. As he watches Ethan idolize his grandfather, Searcher fears that his son is drifting away from him. In an attempt to bond with Ethan, Jaeger tries to connect with his grandson. When Ethan confides in Jaeger about his feelings for someone, Jaeger gives him bad advice, suggesting that he gets the person's attention by putting them in a dangerous situation and then saving them. The tension between Searcher and Jaeger intensifies as they argue about what Ethan should become. They decide to settle their differences with a game of Primal Outpost. Despite their differences, Searcher and Jaeger agree to kill any monsters that may pose a threat. However, Ethan explains that the goal of Primal Outpost is not to kill or eliminate monsters, but to build a working civilization that lives in harmony with the environment. While the team approaches the burning sea, they discover it is a sea of acid. The adults argue about whether to try and cross it or not. Splat talks some of its friends into helping the team get across. The creatures gather at the base of the airship and bravely fly through the acid, guided by Splat. As they make their way across the burning sea, a few Reapers manage to get on board the ship. Callisto, Jaeger, and Searcher fight them off, and Searcher returns with a box of pando seeds that are effective against the monsters. Jaeger tries to teach Searcher how to throw, and the two bond as they take out the Reapers together. In the end, Searcher and Jaeger confront their feelings for each other and realize that they respect each other's goals in life. When Searcher and Jaeger set out on their journey, they both have their motivations driving them forward. Searcher is driven by the desire to leave a legacy for his son, while Jaeger is determined to complete the mission and honor the memory of his father. As they venture deeper into the unknown, they find themselves confronted by a horde of creatures that appear out of nowhere. Jaeger urges them to retreat, but Searcher and Callisto are determined to save Pando, the mysterious root cluster they have been seeking. Shortly after, Searcher and the others get closer to the hearts of Pando, and they see the creature attacking it. In desperation, Searcher comes up with a plan to crush the pando seeds and use them as a weapon against the creatures. His idea proves highly effective, and Callisto orders her team to retrofit their venture into a makeshift crop duster to disperse the seeds. As they fight off the creatures, Ethan struggles with feelings of guilt over the violence of their actions. When Searcher tries to bond with him over the experience, Ethan refuses, explaining that he feels like what they're doing is wrong. Despite the challenges they face, Searcher remains determined to protect Pando and leave a legacy for his son. When Searcher and Ethan continue their journey, they find themselves at odds with each other. Searcher tries to convince Ethan that he knows what is best for him, but Ethan is frustrated that he never asked him what he wanted to become. The two men get into a heated argument, with Ethan blaming Jaeger for brainwashing him into becoming an explorer. Despite the tension between them, Searcher and Ethan eventually have a heart-to-heart talk and come to understand each other's feelings. As they make their way past a mountain, they are greeted by an endless ocean and a strange giant eye. Ethan realizes that the world they are in is one big living creature, and Pando is a disease that kills it. The creatures they had encountered earlier were the creatures' immune systems trying to defend themselves. Upon returning to the venture, Searcher and Ethan share their discovery with the others, but Jaeger refuses to believe them. He flies off to see the truth for himself, while Meridian and Ethan are taken into custody by Callisto, who is determined to save Pando at any cost. Legend manages to free them, and with Splats, they take back control of the bridge. With the help of Searcher and Ethan, they set out to save the living creature's heart. As they work to save the living creature's heart, Searcher comes up with a plan to use his shovel to dig a hole in the heart while Ethan lures the creatures towards it. However, when Searcher's shovel breaks, Jaeger arrives to help. In the process, Jaeger realizes that his true legacy is not his achievements, but his son, Searcher. Together, they open a hole into which the creatures enter, breaking free from the influence of Pando. Though the Pando plants die off, the situation looks bleak. Searcher explains that they may have been too late. Just as all hope seems lost, orange jelly-like creatures arrive and bring everything back to life. Not long after, the group prepares to return home. Jaeger's long-standing wish is finally fulfilled. Despite the loss of Pando as a fuel source, the group is hopeful about the future of Avalonia. Searcher continues to tend to his farm a year later, growing fruits and vegetables for the community. The rest of the town returns to a simpler life, turning to wind turbines as a power source. With the help of Meridian and her crop duster, the town's lights are powered once again. As the dust settles on the adventure to save the living creature, Ethan writes a letter home to reassure his loved ones that everything is going well. He and his friends are busy cleaning the Pando plants, but despite the hard work, they are all in good spirits. Jaeger is finally reunited with his wife, Penelope, and together they enjoy a simple life at the farm, working alongside Searcher. The three of them have built a strong bond, and Jaeger is grateful to have his son by his side as they work to build a bright future for Avalonia.